Welcome to Critical News. Today we'll take a look at Battleplan from Slitherine, the ongoing Broken Arrow cheat saga, and some great news from our friends at Burden of Command. But first, what are RTS veterans Relic working on? Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition, and nobody expected Relic Entertainment to launch a turn-based tactics game. But here we are. Earth vs. Mars comes from Relic Labs, their new subdivision focused on smaller, indie-style releases while the main studio works on traditional RTS games. I'm still praying to the Emperor for Dawn of War 4. On paper the concept sounds promising. Take Advanced Wars, mix it with impossible creatures, and you get Earth vs. Mars. The Martians are invading and Earth fights back using a splicertron that combines humans with animal DNA. You can splice humans with up to 3 different animals from a roster of 10, picking specific body parts to customize your super soldiers. The project feels limited, which should be expected from what is essentially a Relic side hustle. Impossible Creatures gave players 76 creatures to experiment with. Earth vs. Mars offers just 10. The customization system lets you get granular with body parts, but the limited roster restricts experimentation. Relic Labs exists to make smaller experimental games while the main studio works on traditional RTS projects. Even accounted for that reduced scope, Earth vs. Mars feels half-formed. The concept has potential, but the current implementation suggests it needed more development time before public release. Burden of Command received approval for release in Germany after passing the country's strict USK rating process for World War II games. We reached out to Burden of Command's developer, Dr. Luke Hughes, for comment.
Hey, Critical Move podcast and fans. I'm a fan too. It's really great to let you all know we are on the German market with 20% discount off if you act now this week. We're really honored to be in the German market. We did a very formal process. They feel that our use of swastikas and our other historical imagery that we weren't willing to compromise on because we're history fanatics, like we think our audience is too. We're passionate about it. We want to do it right, so it's very rare. Not sure there are many other games that have been given the permissions we have, not only for things like swastikas and photos where appropriate, but tricky topics and violent imagery from the war and so forth. It's something we'll always be proud of, and we hope you all agree with their assessment.
This approval puts Burden of Command in rare company. Luke mentioned Through the Darkness of Time as one of the few other games granted similar permissions for sensitive historical content. Most developers sanitize or remove controversial imagery to avoid regulatory complications, but Burden of Command wouldn't be the gem that it is without historical authenticity. The German market represents significant revenue for strategy games, especially World War II titles. The USK process examines how games handle Nazi imagery, wartime violence, and other sensitive historical material. Getting approval without changes is a huge deal for Burden of Command, and we at Critical Moves are overjoyed for our friends. Luke says he's putting the approval certificate on his wall. The team clearly views this as validation of their approach to historical accuracy over commercial convenience. Slitherine revealed Battleplan during their 25th anniversary ceremony. Developed by Foolish Mortals, the guys behind Radio General, this is a real-time strategy game that positions players as commanding generals rather than tactical field commanders. Instead of direct unit control, players draw orders on maps. You sketch attack routes, defensive positions, and coordination between divisions. The interface strips away traditional RTS micromanagement in favour of high-level strategic decision-making. It sounds very similar to The Last of General, just set in World War II. The scope is massive. The Western Front campaign spans thousands of kilometres using real geographic data. Each division includes realistic organisational structures from headquarters down to individual companies. Officers carry out your drawn orders autonomously while you plan multi-phase operations. Foolish Mortals' previous game, Radio General, demonstrated their ability to create strategic experiences that break conventional genre expectations. Players control troops using only radio communications and maps. Slitherine has the track record for historical strategy games with the Panzer Corps and Strategic Command games. Foolish Mortals brings the experimental design approach. The combination could produce something genuinely interesting in the strategy space. It remains to be seen if solo dev indie title, The Last General, which is due for release in 2026, can release first and steal Slytherine's thunder. Following on from our news story 2 weeks ago, Broken Arrow is implementing better anti-cheat systems after a problematic launch plagued by cheaters and balance issues. Despite a credible 79 on Metacritic, multiplayer became nearly unplayable, leading to mixed Steam reviews. Serial match abandoners tanked ranked games, cheaters ran rampant, and faction balance was broken. Developer Steel Balalaika have been listening to feedback and making corrections. Patch 1.09 introduces lever penalties and surrender options, 2 of the most requested features. The developer claims they've already banned over 5,000 cheaters and hired dedicated staff to handle cheating reports and appeals. There's no news yet on the major complaint from single-player gamers of no save feature during missions. As we see with many toxic RTS communities, the vocal multiplayer minority drown out the single-player majority. Steel Balalaika wanted to create a challenging experience, but instead delivered a messy multiplayer environment. The quick response to community feedback shows they understand the problems and are willing to address them systematically. Broken Arrow has the foundation of a good game buried under technical and balance problems. Whether these fixes arrive soon enough to retain players remains the key question. Against the Storm gets a massive discount alongside a free update and Nightwatch's DLC launch. The Apocalypse City builder is 50% off on Steam until Thursday. Total War Warhammer 3 opens its Siege rework beta until August the 7th. Creative Assembly wants feedback on pocket ladder removal and AI improvements before they release the delayed Tides of Torment DLC. Post-apocalyptic city builder Endzone 2 has left early access. The RimWorld meets Fallout survival sim is 50% off to celebrate its full release. THQ Nordic have announced the Guild Europa 1410, resetting the franchise after the Guild 3's problems. Thanks for watching Critical News. Remember to like and subscribe for weekly strategy game coverage. On Friday, our Critical Moves episode asks why 4X games can't escape their problems. We try to avoid Stellaris, but as you'd expect from the Critical Moves team, we fail. We examine a genre running out of excuses. Innovation is rare, pacing is broken, AI can't keep up. The line between 4X and grand strategy has nearly vanished. Is anyone pushing things forward, or are we just reskinning old ideas? And why do most 4X games still fall apart by turn 100? We'll see you Friday for that discussion, and next week for more Critical News.